Hello YouTubers, Manny here from Manny's How To Workshop with part 1 of the raised garden bed build using materials that you may already have at your property. I just so happen to have some old concrete cinder blocks and some pallets that I broke down that I'm going to try to use as much of the wood as possible. Try to keep the cost down. So far I haven't spent anything on this. Well, I take that back. I actually had to spend some money to buy 11 of these 4x8x16 concrete blocks. It seems like Lowe's, Home Depot, nobody has them. I had to drive long distance to get it. But so anyway, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So I decided to make this a 4x8, so it's 4 feet from outside to outside dimension, side to side, and then it's 8 feet deep outside to outside. And also I chose to make it like 3 feet high, which to the top of this corner post right there, as a matter of fact, all these 4 corner posts are leveled, line leveled to the same height. And then I added a couple more supports on the side. There's 2 in the middle part, and then on the ends I'm going to put some freestanding support as well. And these are those right there. Those are exactly 36 inches tall, which is the same dimension of these guys right here. And this is one of the pallet boards that I'm going to use to connect on the inside. So this post is set so that when I put that board, it's going to butt up against here, but it's going to be inside of that board right there. So that way all the corners are tied in nice and secure. And I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to do the first row first all the way around, and then see how much wood I have left. I might end up having to use some other either plywood or pieces of 1x to use, even though the pallet boards are only about they're less than a ½ inch thick, so maybe like 3/8, and I think I have some leftover 3/8 plywood. I can just cut them in strips, same as the as those boards, and then lay them down. So I chose 3 foot because 3 feet being like the top of the garden bed is a perfect working height. So you don't have to stoop over, bend over, nothing. You can just walk around, and you can plant and you can grab your vegetables with ease, without any strain or stress. Old age is starting to kick in, and yes, the knees, lower back, it's all starting to sound like an old hinge. But anyway, so like I said, the first course is old recycled 8x8x16 concrete blocks, and I did that for the first course only. Okay, and then I came back with the second course 4x8x16, and that's just on the outside, and as you know, they only take up half of the distance of the regular 4x8. So all those empty cells of the first course, this mound right here, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but alright, so this mound right here, I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna level, make it level so that I can continue to plant some of my pineapple plants all the way up to probably, like right there, so I can just leave like a spot to be able to walk around. And then obviously I'm going to remove this worm composting bucket that's buried in the ground, and that's just another way to make some compost by throwing your food scraps in there, and the worms find their way in there and they break that stuff down, and then you just add it to your your garden soil. So like I said, I'm going to take this mound, break that down. I'm going to fill in all the cells in here all the way around as much as I can. and hopefully there'll be enough that I can fill in these cells too right here of the 4x8x16 blocks. And then after that, after the board's all in there, I'm also going to probably use a landscape fabric on the inside up against the boards, just draped over against the boards, just because of added protection for the boards. And then I'm going to take this pile of old leaves. Every time I clean out my gutter on the lanai right here, I just dump the leaves down there. So that's going to be a good first layer of bedding to put on there. Of course, I have another pile right here that I can use. Right there, I just kept dumping grass clippings right there. This is my organic compost that I'm making here in this standalone one, and my tumbler. My tumbler makes compost much quicker, and it's much finer, and it becomes really good. And then excuse me, then I also have some leaves that's been here for a while too, which I'm going to rake up. And then I have a machine that grinds up the leaves. The ones that are already composted, I'm just going to dump in there. But right now it's fall and all the leaves are falling down, so I'll probably end up just raking up some leaves and chop them down and then throw in there to build up that first sub base. And also I'm collecting branches and twigs, which I'm going to burn in my fire pit to give me that ash, which I'm going to take the ash and mix that with the compost because it has magnesium in it, so that'll be good too. And then after building it up, then I'm going to grab some topsoil and finish that off, the last 4 to 6 inches possibly. Maybe I'll mix it in with some of the good compost and then build that up, and then maybe I'll come up to about there, which is probably about 2.5 feet, and then see how that goes, and see if that if I need to keep going to the 3-foot height, and then that way, like I said, I can go ahead and establish a way to go ahead and create that good soil so that all the vegetables I'm going to plant in there are going to thrive and go crazy. And I'll probably just trim back some of these papaya leaves just so that this will have more sun, because right now in the morning you can see this shade right here. So I can probably help it by just eliminating some of those, because my big mango tree that's behind me blocks some of the sun. You see, you get most of it though gets sun, so I think I'll be okay. All right, so yeah, that's it. So for part 1, I showed you how I went ahead and established my base course for the concrete blocks. I put my upright supports here, and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the boards. And I'm going to use brad nails to tack the boards on there because it's so thin. And see, these are not that thick either. They're only about less than 1.5 inches thick. So I'm just using some brads to put them in place. And yeah. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. As always, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.